Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Fazli bin Muhammad Isa. My metric number is 8238140. Now I'll be discussing about the application of Islamic legal maxim based on the context of Murabahah or Tawarruq retail financing, yearly settlement and Ibra. The central issue we are looking at is the phenomenon of yearly settlement in Murabahah contracts. Here, customer often request a rebate as known as Ibra on the unpaid profit when settling their financing earlier than expected. This creates Sharia contradiction, especially around the calculation of the rebate, leading to concern about inequality in financial practice. More importantly, this raises important question about justice, fairness, and prohibition of usury riba in Islamic finance. The objective of this study is twofold. First, to explore the Sharia contradiction and assess their impact, and second, to evaluate how negara Malaysia practice align with Qawaid Fiqhiyyah, especially through the lens of three key Islamic maxim. First, al-umur bimaqasidiha, as matters are judged by their intention. Second, lil-ajali kistun minat at-taman, for deferred payment there is a part of the price. Third, al-dara yuzal, as harm is to be removed to this issue. Ultimately, the goal will aim to ensure that Islamic financial institution maintain Sharia compliance, balancing the interests of both the institution and the customers.
Okay, case background. This case is about early settlement in Murabahah-based financing. It happens when a customer pays off their financing early than the agreed time and the Islamic bank must give a rebate Ibra. The study compares Bank Negara Malaysia rebate calculation with the conventional method to see if they are truly different. The party involved are the customer, the Islamic financial institution, Bank Negara Malaysia, and the Sharia Advisory Council. The product used is Bay Al-Murabahah or Bay Bitaman Ajil, BBA, which is sale-based contract where the customer pays by installment. Furthermore, the main issue is that BNM rebate calculation looks similar to the conventional loan method, which uses interest or time value of money. This raised Sharia concern about possible element of riba, making people question whether Islamic finance truly operate differently from conventional banking.
Okay, there are three main stakeholders. First is the Islamic Bank, which acts as the seller in Murabahah or the facilitator in Tawarruq. The bank purchases the commodity from the supplier, then sells it to the customer at a different price that includes cost and profit. It also prepares the installment schedule and grants Ibra. When early settlement occurs as a fiduciary, the bank must ensure fairness and avoid any element of riba or exploitation. The second stakeholder is the customer, who seeks financing either to acquire an asset or to obtain liquidity through tawarruq. The customer agrees to buy the commodity from the bank and pay via installments. If they settle early, they are entitled to IBRA on the unearned portion of profit, ensuring contractual justice. The third stakeholder is the commodity supplier, who provides the actual commodity at spot price and ensures through ownership or altam to prevent fixtures or horror-based transactions. The contract flow is straightforward. The supplier sells to the commodity to the bank. The bank sells it to the customer on a different basis, and in Tawarruk, the customer may sell the commodity to obtain cash. This structure ensures the financing remains a genuine sale, not a loan.
Now I will continue with Sharia issue 1, which focuses on the riba, element impartial rebate or Ibra, viewpoint early settlement of Murabahah financing. This issue arises when a customer settles Murabahah or Tawarruq financing yearly, but the bank only gives a partial rebate and keeps some profit. This situation may lead to riba because the profit is taken for a period that has not yet occurred. In Murabahah financing, profit is directly linked to the deferment period. Therefore, keeping profit after yearly settlement becomes riba al-nasiyah, which is profit gain merely due to the passing of time. And this is clearly prohibited in the Al-Quran, Al-Baqarah verse 275. The issue may also involve gharar or uncertainty if the rebate policy is unclear or left to the bank's discretion. To avoid this, the contract must include a transparent and specific Ibra clause, as required by ALV and the Sharia Advisory Council of Bank Negara Malaysia.
For issue 2, we highlight the problem of darar and improper intention in the rebate Ibra computation in case A. In this case, the bank used a rebate formula that is similar to the conventional loan amortization method, where profit is calculated based on the time value of money. This creates darar because the customer still pays profit for the period that has not actually passed. From a Sharia perspective, Murabahah profit must come from the sale of an asset, not from time. So, using a time-based formula reflects improper intention and may lead to Shubha Riba Nasi'ah. According to Islam Kamal 2021, BNM's rebate formula closely resembles the conventional system, only the terms are different. This exposes the bank to Sharia non-compliance risk and reputational risk because people may question whether Islamic banking is truly different from the conventional model. In short, the rebate calculation used in a case A conflict with the true Sharia spirit of Murabahah. That's all from me. Thank you.
Fiqh Method 1. Al-Umum Bimakasidiha. Al-Umum Bimakasidiha means matters are judged according to their intention. For example, if a bank gives a rebate for early payment with the intention of being fair in a real sale, it is permissible. However, if the rebate is calculated in such a way that imitates interest, then it is not permissible. The Ibra is when a customer paid early, the discount must be given with the right intention to make the sale fair, not to copy interest. According to Al-Umum Bimakasidiha, the action is valid only if the real intention follows Sharia rules. B&M calculate the rebate by subtracting the outstanding principal from the outstanding selling price, and the amount is the same as in a conventional loan, showing no difference between the two systems.
Next, I will present about fiqh method 2, which is Li-Ajali Kistomina Al-Taman. Li-Ajali Kistomina Al-Taman refer to one of the fiqh rules stated in Islamic law which mean for the deferred payment, that is a part of the price. For example, the price of a car, 70,000 ringgit, becomes 85,000 ringgit when Aisha choose to pay in 2 years installment. The increase of 15,000 ringgit is Li-Ajali Kistomina Al-Taman, which is an additional amount allowed to cover the bank time and risk costs. However, if Aisha has settled her debt yearly and the grace period is not used, the part of the price related to the period should be dropped and returned to the customer in the form of rebate, Ibra. In 2013, BNM recommended that all Islamic financial institutions in Malaysia include Ibra terms in contract as a measure to protect customer rights.
The next part is Fiqh Method 3 Al-Darar Yuzal. Al-Darar Yuzal means harm must be removed. Contract must not impose any unfair burden, loss, or injustice on either party. For example, in early settlement for Mudrabah, Tawarruq, keeping unearned future profit harms the customer. The profit is tied to the deferment period, so when the time has not passed, the bank cannot charge profit for the unused period. Moreover, Ibra is required when early settlement happens because keeping unearned profit causes harm to the customer. Since the deferment period has not fully passed, any remaining profit is not justified and must be removed according to the maxim, harm must be eliminated. Moreover, issues arose when Bank Negara Malaysia's previous rebate formula resembled conventional amortization, causing either harm to the customer. Sharia scholars highlighted that Islamic banks must remove harm by retaining all unearned profit during early settlement.
I will be explaining the discussion and counter argument for our case on the rebate of Ibra caused in Islamic financing. The article shows that although the rebate clause in Sharia compliant, in principle the method of calculating the rebate is almost the same as the conventional loan formula, which relies its own time value, a concept linked to the riba. So our discussion is that the rebate clause itself is halal and necessary, but the current computations method is not fully Sharia compliant because it imitates interest-based practice. As a counter argument, some believe it's just a mathematical formula and doesn't affect compliance. However, in Islam, both the intention and the method must align with Sharia. Therefore, Islamic banks should adopt their own rebate formula that truly reflect Islamic value and avoid redemptions to interest.
The next part is remedial actions policy control. The first point is strengthen transparency in the Libra clause. Islamic financial institutions should clearly state how rebates are calculated, including the difference between earned and unearned profit. This reduces gara because customers understand exactly what they are entitled to during early settlement. The next point is implement a standard SOP for early settlement. The institution should implement a formal SOP to manage early settlement cases. This process should automatically recalculate the outstanding amount based on the unutilized financing period, so the bank only keep profit it has genuinely earned. The last point is improve customer education on Ibra. Customers often face confusion because they do not fully understand how rebates work. Providing clear explanation during onboarding and simple reference materials can greatly reduce misunderstandings. Thank you. The next part is reflection. The first point is align operational practices with the true Sharia principles. The case shows that Islamic banks must ensure modern process truly reflect classical Sharia intentions. Even if the product is Sharia label elements like rebate calculations can unintentionally mimic conventional method. The second point is small operation details can affect overall Sharia integrity. Even a simpler formula such as the one used to compute rebates can impact the Sharia compliance of an entire financing product. Islamic finance is not just about using the right contract names. The mechanism must avoid outcomes that resemble riba. Thank you.